Hi, I'm Amelie. I'm Managing Director Alan Bottrell's daughter, and I've been called in today to show you that anyone, even me, can assemble a Golf Products Australia product. This is going to be the second time ever that I've assembled it. We did a practice run, and so far, so good. So I'm not used to being on camera, and I'm not used to the product. So you'll know that it's genuine, and you'll know that you can do this too. If I can do it, you can do it. Let's get started. You're going to need a rubber mallet or hammer and a Phillips head screwdriver, a magnetic one if you have one. I didn't have one, but that'll certainly help you out. So just to show you what comes with the Golf mobile phone holder, you've got the casing itself, and then you've got your bracket contents with the different types of screws. So this is the bracket. There's your foam holders that keep the nuts in place, so that when you go to screw in those larger screws, that will keep it all together and you won't have the bits and pieces falling out everywhere. These are spare screws depending on what size you need to attach for your buggy, and these screws here are the 12mm ones that you're going to be using first, and that's a spare of the 12mm screw. So you don't actually need that, it's just if you lose one. So if the bracket doesn't fit around your buggy, you might need a longer or shorter screw. So I'm going to show you how you change those screws over, and that's where you use your rubber mallet or hammer, and you're just going to tap, because they're actually just popped in, so you're just going to tap that screw on a hard surface and you'll actually just feel them pop out. And then you just do the opposite to put them back in, which is easiest to do with your Phillips head screwdriver. So you rest them in there, get the screwdriver and just push, and you'll feel it just pop through like that. There you go. And now you can see that they're sitting in the screw bed and they're not going to fall out while you're trying to attach the bracket together. So here's how to attach the mobile phone holder to a buggy with perfectly round poles. You can attach them anywhere. And we're going to attach it using the bracket. So this is the other side, and we're going to use the smaller 12mm screws first to attach to the phone holder. And then we'll be attaching the rest of the bracket. Now there are some tiny pre-drilled holes on the holder itself, and those will line up with the holes on the bracket that has the foam nuts already in there. So the other holes, not the ones with the foam in it, but the other holes fit those 12mm screws, and then you can line that up with the holes in the case. Now once you've done that, grab that Phillips head screwdriver and just screw righty-tighty into those pre-drilled holes. And that secures half of the bracket onto the case. So then you can put that wherever you like. I've put it on the back of the scorecard holder to make them appear as one unit. I think that's pretty cool. So what I'm doing is lining up those 30mm screws with the other side of the bracket, and I've just got the bracket in a position where it's easiest to get at with the screwdriver. So I'm going to tighten them to a point where I can still turn the phone holder, and then I'll finish tightening it so that it's secure enough to have the phone in it. And that's it. That's all secure and attached to the buggy. And you can see the scorecard and accessories holder sitting behind it there. As well. So to install the mobile phone holder onto a irregularly shaped pole, we're going to use the shorter edge, which is the bottom of the phone holder, to put the bracket on, and it's going to sit on top of the pole. And that means that you'll need the longer screws. So you're still attaching the 12mm screws into the bracket that's going to be on the shorter edge, the bottom of the holder. So you're going to be lining up those holes, and then it's going to sit like that on top. And I've put the scorecard holder with accessories behind it as well. Now those are the 12mm screws. And this is your 40mm screws already in the other side of the bracket. But we're going to start with the side that has the foam, which holds the nuts in place for you while you're putting the other side of the bracket in. So these are the 12mm screws, and it's a little bit fiddly. What you've got to do is pop them in the inner holes, not the ones with the foam, but the inner holes, to be lined up with the short end or the bottom of the mobile phone holder. So it's sort of hard to see, but those are now in there, ready to be lined up and screwed in with a screwdriver. So you can see them out the bottom, and that makes it easier to line up as well. So I'm just lining these up now. There we go. So that that will now righty-tighty. That will now line up with the pre-drilled holes in the bottom of the case, or the short end of the case, and secure it to the bracket. So then we can just add the other half of the bracket to then secure it to the buggy itself. So those are the 40mm screws that you'll need, because this pole is longer as you're looking down. So you hold the bracket together, you hold those screws in place, and just go from left to right, twisting the screwdriver righty-tighty. Until it's fairly firmly in place. And then your mobile phone goes in the top there. And I put the accessories holder there on the back to show you how you can make them look like one unit there as well. So you can see the two brackets there lined up together, and that's all done.